So I'm going to talk about something very an interesting story about Etoys. So basically, there is a very interesting, way of analyzing the events. Like, oh, I should have bought this in 2010, and then they people also people believe that that is a like very good way to think. Oh, if I had bought that when the market when the market was low in real estate in 2015, I would have been a rich person now. The most important principle is please understand, nobody can predict tomorrow what's going to happen tomorrow for real estate and what's going to happen tomorrow for stocks, right? You, after the effect, you may be able to say a number of things. Okay, this is how I would have done, this is how I can do, but I'm telling you now, nobody can predict the future. My main question is, tell me now, should I invest in real estate or not? Tell me now, should I invest in stock or not? And nobody can predict that. Nobody can answer that. Yeah, people will come out of the closet. They say, okay, in 2015 I should have done that, you should have done that. They make you feel like that. This is a very poor way of analyzing any situation. Okay, okay. It is, remember, first of all, you cannot time the bottom. First of all, you cannot time whether it is going to go up. It can always go down. But second thing is, when it goes down, let's say you may think, okay, whenever it will go down, I will not sell it, but I'll keep it because I know it will go up. I'm telling you, I told you the story of dollar crash, and how they basically made they made fool of everybody. I've told this story in one of the videos. Similarly, Dubai crash story, I told that they made a fool of everybody. Mr. Sheikh came on the television and said that nothing's going to happen to our economy. And I'm telling you, nobody can predict. After that, people thought that, okay, Dubai is definitely going to stay stable, but it did not. And right after, within 2 months of that, it crashed. Don't get surprised if some of the people who are inside circle people, they are basically, letting everything go. They are selling off everything. Don't get surprised at that, right? So there is no way you will be able to sustain whether the downturn of stocks. You can think that, okay, I will. When USD was low, I gave you a theory. When the Dubai market was high, how they make fool of you. There are so many cases that in so many cases I've seen that they basically make a fool out of you. Okay, many people will come and tell you, hey, you should have bought Tesla. I didn't buy Tesla. Do you know there is a company called Fisker, something like that? I don't know the exact name. You can go to Google. It's an EV company. It filed for bankruptcy today. I'm not sure whether they had an IPO, but if they had an IPO, everybody's gone, done. So how is his Fisker so different from Tesla? I don't know the name actually. I think it's Fisker only. Fisker is a brand for Caesars also, I don't know. So maybe that is in my mind. But it sounds something like that. It's very similar. Yeah. Do you know when people say, had you bought Amazon store at the edge with $1,000 would have become $100,000? Do you know? So do you know there was a company called as Etoys, Buydotcom. Etoys was a darling of the stock market. Do you know that? Back in late 90s and early 2000s. Yeah. Etoys basically used to sell toys, and Amazon used to sell only books. You may say, oh, Etoys was selling only toys, it was doomed to fail. No, Amazon only used to sell books. Amazon was a book company. They used to sell only books online. That's how they started. Etoys started as toy company. And there was a story, Etoys servers crashed. It was a darling of the e-commerce. Yeah, e-commerce boom. This was actual boom. Yeah. Tell me one thing, Amazon became $100,000 share, I don't know, $1,000 became 100,000, whatever. It became such a big share. How did it happen that Etoys actually could not even sustain? It completely became bankrupt. How is it possible? They are such idiots that Amazon kept on growing, and Etoys basically crashed and finished. How is it possible? The point is, I believe, this is my belief, there is no theory to prove it, there's nothing to prove it. I believe these guys behind the scenes, they conspire against you guys, the retail investors. How they do it, how they don't do it, I don't want to get into that, I don't even know. But I know that they conspire. How is it possible the Etoys completely crashed? That is worth nothing. He couldn't find a way to sell more toys, or he couldn't sell a way to, branch out into other things that he could sell. Yeah, I don't know. But Etoys crashed. Nobody knows about it. The name. No. So you will not be able to. The point is, you will not be able to Determine which is going to be tomorrow's darling, which is going to be the tomorrow's success story. For example, Nvidia, right? There is no way you would be able to predict. Go back 5-6 years, you will not be able to predict that Nvidia would have been. You say, oh, I should have bought Nvidia. This analysis is wrong. That's what my point is. This analysis is wrong. Please remember Etoys story. Please remember Buydotcom story. Please remember Enron story. When Enron was number 8 company in the world in terms of revenue, I think in terms of market cap or something, it was number 8 in the world, like a formidable giant. Formidable giant. It could never go wrong. Yeah, it could never go wrong. It was an energy giant. Energy is being used today also. Energy was used then also. Energy has been big now. Every time energy has been big ever, forever. Energy was never, I don't know what happened. But Enron share, from wherever it was, 1,000 rupees or dollars or something, it came down to 50, 25, 10, 5, 1. How is it possible that it became dead? So a lot of people, when it became 1 or 5, they ended up they're putting a lot of money in it, thinking that it will definitely go up. See, think about this. Had these guys not put the money, then the investors and then if the retail investors would have not put the money in, then the operators would have put the money and then jacked up the price, making you feel, oh, I should have not listened to Gaurav, I should have put the price here. There is no way you can predict. There is no way you can predict. By the way, if you can predict the share is going to go down, even then you can make money by shorting it. I'm sure you know that. Obviously, you can buy the share, but you can short the shares also. And by shorting the share, you profit from the share if it goes down tomorrow. There is nobody can predict whether that it will go up or it will go down. I'm telling you now. Right? And never do this analysis. I should have bought in that time. You stopped me. This is a very common way to blame others. There is no way anybody could predict. You're talking about India's real estate story. Same way. In India, the real estate used to be 1 lakh rupees. 2 lakh rupees in Chandigarh you could get the apartment that is for 2 crore right now was available for 2 lakh rupees. That same apartment. So you should understand the story. So I'm giving you the same. They were in Mansa Devi complex in Chandigarh. Okay, they were 2 lakh rupees. They become 4 lakh rupees. And my friend used to say, my father did not buy it when it was 1 lakh, 2 lakh. I should have bought. My father did not even allow. Yes, had he bought at that time also, for 4 lakh became 2 lakh, for 2 crore now. When it was 4 lakh, nobody predicted that it will become 8 lakh. Nobody predicted at 8 lakh that it will become 20 lakhs. It will become worth 20 lakhs. Yes. Whereas 20 lakhs, nobody predicted it will become 1 CR, worth 1 CR. Please remember this thing. There is no way you can predict how high it will go or something. When it was 1 CR, nobody predicted it will go to, it will become 2, it will be a 2 crore property. Yes. It's extremely difficult to predict. Please know that. Looking at, in 2005, I should have bought this. You didn't tell me. I didn't tell you. This is stupid. Nobody can predict. Nobody can predict. And you should never make this analysis as part of your thought process. Oh, I should have bought that. I should have bought this stock at this thing. I should have bought this stock at this thing. I should have bought this thing at that time. I should have bought this. Tell me now. Should we buy now? Should we buy real estate in India now? Should we buy this thing in India? This thing, stocks right now. Should I buy Tesla stock now? Should I buy Apple stock now? Tell me. And nobody can predict. Nobody can tell you what will happen. Okay. Another thing is, when someone shows you, hey, look, the market trend is up, that always remember, do not listen to that advice. Market trend is up, then actually by the law of probability, it is now the probability of going down is more. Well, again, nobody can predict. Just the probability calculation says this. But anyway, whenever someone says, hey, look at the 20-year data, it is going up. Remember, you may be befooled by this. It may go down. Remember. Always remember that part. This may be the time that it's going to go down. I also feel that when they want to crash the market, I'll tell you something very interesting about 2008 crash of India. In 2008 in India, the stock market crashed. So I have some interesting data because one of my friends used to work in the stock market. not in Bombay Stock Exchange, but he was very active in the stock. He had a terminal in Chandigarh. So he knew a lot about the internal matters. He told me that the 94% of the money invested in the stock market on the day of crash was owned by retail investors. The operators and the institutional investors had cleverly taken out all their money before that. And that's when the crash happened. You need to understand how it works. Even on the day of election in India in 2024, the stock market crashed, right? Because BJP didn't get proper majority. I personally feel that this was all planned. 1 lakh, I think 2 lakh crore, 3 lakh crore left, the stock market. And please remember, there was a lot of hoopla among the retail investors that the market will go up, they should buy. So their money was extracted by these people. Gone are the days that you'll put 20 lakh, let's say the total market cap of Indian stock market is 20 lakh crore. They will not take all 20 lakh crore. They'll take 1 lakh crore at a time. You earn money, put in there, they'll take it out. Okay, so anyway, so those things apart, they are there for you, but at least you should analyze properly. You should analyze properly. Please do not do this analysis. Hey, I should have bought it at that time. I should have bought it at that time. Hey, you didn't tell me to buy it at that time. I didn't tell you, I should have bought it at that time. That's a very poor analysis. Never do this analysis. If at all you want to do this analysis, you should never do this analysis. If at all you want to do this analysis, you should think like this. On the day, let's say you want to think about this like for 2020 January, on that day, what were the facts in my hand on the basis of which I would have decided? Please also remember the negative news, negative sentiment that was prevalent at that time, because that is the one which stopped you. That is the reason when I give you my formula, I gave you my formula once I gave you my formula. If you want to ever profit from stock market in India, this would be the formula. I said that if it falls by 20%, 30%, 70, 50%, 70%, things like that, right? Please remember at that point, when the market will be down by 70%, they'll make you feel that market is going to finish. The world is crashing. They will make you feel. On that day, you should not panic. And I gave all this formula keeping this in mind. But please remember, in general, the rule is, please think like this. What was the data available to me at that time? And what was the negative sentiment that I was having? What emotional roller coaster ride I was taking at that time? And on the basis of that, how could I decide to buy? That's the only way you could think. So I will give you someday I will give you my general principles. If you guys want, let me know in the comments. I'll tell you the general principles on the basis of which one can make a better decision, right? So one of the main general decision is buying a house for yourself in India or in America. It's a no-brainer. You should buy it because this is your life project. This is your most important utilization of your money. When you do all this work and make money, what will you do with this? The most important thing you will do is buy a house. Other utilizations are cars. Third one is education of kids. Fourth one is your retirement. Okay. So when you're working towards your home, that is one big life project over if you can buy a proper home. So in my opinion, you should buy a proper home as soon as possible and be done with it, right? And that's how I should have thought in 2000. This is a proper home. There are really good homes that are available with my 1 month salary. With my 1 month salary. With my 1 month salary, I could buy a really good home, which is worth 4 crores now. That's another story. It was for just 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs. With my 2 month salary, I could buy. Right? So I made a mistake, and I don't think back in the time there was a lot of ragging sentiment. But here's the thing: I had a chance to close my one life project, and that's how I could have seen it, and I should have gone for it. Right? So these are the ways I will give you some principles like that, and let's see whether you capitalize on it. But I've given you the full strategy also how you can make a lot of money in stock market in India by using that strategy. That is one strategy that, in my opinion, will definitely work because it is not lined to your emotions. It's lined to 30% down, 50% down, and 70% down, right? And how much money you should put in that, right? So please remember, so you can follow that, and I'm pretty sure that will make you some money. That will make you some good money, okay? All right, guys, thank you very much.